Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Dreams. This is a game of hidden identity and deduction for 3 to 6 players. It's not new, it came out in, I believe, 2017, but it's new to me. I picked it up just a few weeks ago to play at a Christmas party where I was inviting 5 other people over, and I was looking for games that were very easy to play, very accessible, because not everybody at the table was going to be a serious gamer. Just from looking at the back of the box, it reminded me very much of a game that I enjoy, which is Tajemnicze Domostwo. And apologies for the pronunciation there, it's a Polish name, and I really struggle with languages. And as it was relatively cheap, I picked this up in a TK Maxx in the UK. I thought it was worth a risk. Let's dive in. Here is the board for Dreams. It's actually a really nice neoprene night sky. And it's completely unnecessary, you don't really need it to play the game, but it's a nice little addition. It marks out the boundaries of the play area that you will be using. And the idea behind this game is that the gods have decided to grant the humans dreams, and in order to do that, they are going to illuminate the sky with constellations. Unfortunately, one mortal has infiltrated their ranks and doesn't see the visions the way they do, and is just trying to bluff it to look like they're a god. So, for example, if you were playing a full 6-player game, there would be 5 gods at the table, and then there would be 1 player who is the mortal. And in each round you play, the identity of the mortal is randomly determined. And how it's done is pretty clever, because the game comes with this huge stack of dream cards. And these cards are really lovely, the artwork is fantastic, and it was one of the big draws for this game. There are loads of different images, loads of different styles, sometimes they're landscapes, sometimes they are weird C.S. Lewis type fever dreams. I will go through a few of them a bit later in the video. I won't spoil the whole deck, but I will just show you a random selection of them so you can see how the artwork is different across the cards and how lovely it is. But anyway, at the start of each round, you will draw 4 of these cards and lay them out. So these are the 4 randomly drawn dreams, and we allocate each one a number, from 1 to 4. We then have 4 stacks of cardboard tokens, and in each stack there will be 1 mortal token, and then a number of number tokens, and in total, the number of tokens in this stack will equal the number of players in the game. You randomize the 4 stacks, and then you select one of them, and then everybody at the table gets 1 token from the stack. That means everybody at the table except for 1 person will be given a number, and that number will be the same. All those people who have been given a number, they are a god. And the number indicates the true vision, the true dream that they are going to paint across the sky with stars. And of course the mortal will not know the true vision because they have just been given a token that shows that they are the mortal. From here on out, the game plays in rounds, and each player will get 3 turns. Once each player has taken 3 turns, the round ends. The gods are going to try to place stars in the sky to reflect the true nature of the vision. The mortal, who doesn't know the true nature of the vision, is going to look at what everybody else at the table is doing and see if they can guess which is the correct vision and then play their own stars accordingly. Because at the end of the round, everybody has to guess who they think the mortal is, except for the mortal, who has to guess which the correct vision was. And this is where an element of bluffing can come in, because the gods obviously want to create the true vision. They want to create a constellation that reflects the dream, but at the same time, they don't want to be so obvious that it's easy for the mortal to correctly identify the vision so that they can bluff their way through. But let's have a quick look at how we can position our stars. So we have our night sky, which is a big oval, and as a god, we know that this wacky piece of art is the correct vision. This is what we need to create in the sky with our stars. And each player, gods and mortals alike, has 3 stars at their disposal. They have a large clear one, a small clear one, and a small black one. And on their turn, they have to place 1 star on the board, and once it has been placed, it cannot be moved in any way. And the idea is we want to position those stars in such a way that we are picking out points of interest on the artwork. So for example, I'm going to look at this image and there's this big weird creature sat on a mushroom. So I am going to place my big large star, and in my mind, that's representing the big thing sat on the mushroom. Now the next player will take a turn. If they are a god, they obviously know what they're doing. They might assume that that big star that I have placed is indeed the big thing sat on the mushroom, but there is a little person sat on that big weird thing, so they may use their small clear star to represent that person sat on its back. So they place their star there. Now the next player takes a turn, and perhaps they are also a god, but they have assumed that the small star represents the raised light pink dome on the top of the mushroom. So when they place their star, they now place a large star which they think represents the weird creature sat on top of the mushroom. So they place their star here, and now everybody is confused. Now let's assume the next player is the mortal. The mortal has to look at all of the images and all of the stars that have been placed so far and try to figure out which card we are playing so that they can bluff their way through. They want to make it all the way through the game without being identified. Unfortunately for the mortal player, they have determined that the image we are trying to create is this one with the domes and the big wasp. So they are going to place a star to reflect what they think we're doing. So they place their black star just over here. The game now continues. We go round the table until all players have placed all 3 of their stars. Once that has been done, it's time to vote. Every player has been allocated a colour and they have been allocated a voting star in their colour. And the gods have to use their voting stars to select the colour of the player that they think is the mortal. So I've been watching everybody place their stars through the whole game. I think the orange player is the mortal, so I move my star here like this. Meanwhile, the mortal player, of course, is not trying to guess who the mortal is, they already know. Instead, they are trying to guess which is the correct image, so they will use these 4 voting prongs here instead. And let's say they select 3, which is wrong. Once everybody has placed their vote, the stars are revealed simultaneously and then points are awarded. The mortal player will get 3 god points if nobody at the table guessed that they were the mortal. It means that they managed to bluff their way through the whole ordeal. Additionally, they will get 2 points if they correctly guessed the image that everybody was creating. So in total, the mortal can score 5 points. Meanwhile, each god will score 2 points if they correctly identify the mortal, and they will get 1 god point if nobody incorrectly guessed that they were the mortal. And that's a really interesting twist in the rules, because of course what the god players want to do is they want to trick the mortal into playing the wrong image. So it is possible for gods to place stars incorrectly or completely out of sequence to throw off the mortal and help identify the mortal. But if you do that too much, you start to look like the mortal yourself, and then everybody else is going to guess it's you, and then you are going to lose points. So there's a really interesting balance between trying to lure out the mortal, trying to hide which is the true vision from them, but at the same time playing in an accurate enough way that everybody else knows that you are actually a god. And while you are placing stars, you are allowed to talk, you can bluff, you can tell the truth. Obviously you don't want to be too truthful and give away too much information because it ruins the game. You can ask people why they have placed a star a certain way, but they are under no obligation to tell you why. But is their silence damning? If you say to someone, why have you done that? They may say, well, I don't want to say. Are they doing that because they don't want to give away the true image to the mortal? Or are they saying it because they genuinely don't know? Playing silently does add an extra dimension to it, I think, and you do get moments where people will completely ruin the constellation that you're making because they have completely misinterpreted what you have done, and that can lead to some pretty funny situations. But that's basically it. That's the game. You continue in rounds until someone scores 16 points, and then at the end of that round, whoever has the most points is the overall winner. So what do I think? I think it's a really clever idea. I think it is beautifully presented. The artwork is amazing, and it's a really clever concept. I do think it's possibly more interesting than fun. It doesn't seem to come across as one of those games where you're going to have laugh out loud fun. It's something where you're going to think a little bit, and you're going to enjoy the image, and you're going to enjoy creating the constellations. And for me personally, I think I appreciate it more as a concept than actually as a fun thing to do. And that's not to say it's bad, because I don't think it is. I actually think it's quite a good game. But I also think it suffers in relation to other deduction games. Although it plays quite differently to Tamaniche Domosville, I think that is the better game, and if I wanted to play some kind of social deduction game where people had to work out specific cards that are in play, that is the one I would go for over this one, and as I have both in my collection, that does put this game on the back foot somewhat. But it is a nice game, and I think everybody at my party did enjoy it. Although we didn't play to 16 points, we did feel that once we had got to about 10 points, we had played enough rounds that we had seen enough of the game and we were ready to move on to something different. So yeah, interesting is how I would describe this one. But that's it from me for now. I'm going to stop talking, but at the end of the video, I am going to flip through a few of the different cards just to show a range of the artwork, so if you want to hang about for that, you can do. If not, thank you so much for watching up to now. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so. And hopefully, I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.